with the bunny, we just keep on going. And going and going. And get that to this whatever size you want. So those are both based on a teardrop shape rather than the triangle of those. And again, for his ear in there, I did just take this tool again and run it right up to get that. Beautiful, huh? To get that shape in there. All right. Now, that takes care of these ears. For these, I used my cutters because I wanted them a little more definitely rounded. You know, this is kind of squishy round. I wanted them more definitely round. So I just used my Kemper cutters. The rounds come in 7 different sizes. So you just choose whichever one you want for your project. And again, I cut them out. And I wanted to cut the curve so it matched exactly. And you might think you just take the cut with this. But actually you want to take the cut with your original cutter, because this is the shape it's going to conform to. So I just cut this little pinch out using the shape it's going to, and then it will fit perfectly. If I had used this little cutter, that curve would be too small. So you want to cut your curve according to what you're attaching it to. Not, I mean, you could adapt that, but you'd have a little distortion. So for these, I just cut both layers with a Kemper cutter, one of these gold cutters, and then cut the shape using the larger cutter that I used for my background. Okay? Same with the frog's eyes here. It's the same as, those are his ears in this case. All 3 of these are done the exact same way. And actually, speaking of this, for the frog's mouth, I actually just cut in with the same cutter. Didn't cut all the way through, just enough to give him a little definition for the mouth. All right, let's talk about eyes. Actually, for all of these, I made the mouse eyes a little bit tinier, but all of the rest of these, I just used my cutter. This is a number 1 thickness, and I used the smallest cutter. Rolled a tiny little ball. And when I set them in there, I actually, you can't see it, but I did put a little indentation first, so it has a little pocket to sit in. If you're going to do a ton of these, you can actually make a ton of these and pre-bake them and have little pre-baked eyes ready to go, but I usually just stick them in there. Again, if you use a cutter, you know exactly how much you used, so they are going to be the same size. Now, the placement of the eye. When I was little, and I would be coloring or doing whatever I was doing, my mother would always say, don't put the eyes too close together, they'll look like a pig. And actually, pig's eyes, at least in drawings, are close together. So you'll notice, you can play around with the placement, but I did put the puppies and the kitties and all that a little farther apart, and the pig's eyes are closer together. So thanks for that lesson, Mom. And actually, the little chicken, I put the eyes closer together too, but most are a little bit spread apart more. And then the pigs are closer. The pig's nose, again, is just a cutter. We'll move on to noses. He's got a little round muzzle there, and I just used you can use a small tool like that, or a needle tool, to put the nose holes in, like here and here. So what's underneath this little triangle nose we already did? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can make these. And again, they're mix and match. You know, if you want to draw whiskers on your cat, that's fine. If you want teeth on your puppy, that's fine. If you want to use this kind of muzzle on your cat, that's fine. I'll just show you how I did all of these, and then you can mix and match as you want. These I actually hand formed. I just grabbed a little bit of clay. And it turned out a little bit oval, and then you squish the oval a little bit. And my dog hair in here as my usual inclusion. And then you can just add little details. You can put that in. You can go all the way up to define it more, like that or like that. You can actually, if you have a cutter, you can actually use a little heart shape. This one I actually did a circle and just indented, but a lot of people actually just use the heart shape. That's fine too. For this one, I kind of constructed that whole thing together. I did a circle, did another one, flatten it a little bit, tap it down, tap this one down, and put the two sides together. Just gives them kind of more defined. Now see, I didn't pre-measure my clay, and they're different sizes, so I would pre-measure my clay if I were you, and if you cared. And I did that, and then I actually did the little teeth. And again, flatten, flatten. You can have one tooth, you can divide it up, but I attached that there. I did his little nose, again flatten, tiny pinch, flatten the bottom, put that right on there, and then as a unit, I had assembled that whole little unit right there. So, I think that's it. We talked about eye placement, we talked about pre-measuring your sizes so they match. We hand formed, we cut with a cutter. We did ear shapes. And like I said, if you want to, you can do the whole thing. You can do whiskers, a mouth, and eyebrows on all of them. You can leave them staring blankly at you. You can do whatever you want. Again, these were all done with cutters. And again, the same thing. I did just a cut like with the frog. So, ear placement, eye placement, ear shape, nose shape, that all defines what your animal will look like, and hopefully it will turn out to be the correct species that you intended.